In the dating game, in the finding a mate world, we try to get the attention of the person we are romantically interested in because we have to. Having their attention is a requirement because without noticing us, nobody can fall for us, let alone ever be in a relationship with us. Now, as with all things in life, there are the right and the wrong ways to get the attention of the person we are romantically interested in. Some men try to get women's attention by driving by with loud music or loud exhaust sounds coming out of their car, hoping at least one of the women will say, "Finally." I mean, ever since I was a 10-year-old girl, I've dreamt of a man that knows how to wake up entire neighborhoods. Some women try to get a man's attention by being or dressing super sexy, hoping the man will think, I mean, look at her. Now that's a woman I want to get to know for her personality. Humans are a very funny species when it comes to attraction, and in all seriousness, a lot of women will try to be attractive in some way or form. They may try to show how smart they are, how well they can cook, how great their personality is, how good they are at something else, and men do all of those things as well. Now these things may get attention, but the question is, will it get the desired result? I'm an author. I write books about dating and relationships for women. I also write books about emotional intelligence. My real name is Geert. What was that? So my much more pronounceable pen name is Brian Knox, and first, trying to get someone's attention already puts us in the weaker position, but that's just how it is sometimes. However, as we have seen, there are ways to get attention that make us look desperate or obnoxious. Don't really want to get to know that person, so that's one of the reasons why you should never fight for his attention or put in a huge effort, as I explained in another video. But there are also good ways that first get attention and then pique interest. So that's what we are going for. Wow, I really want to get to know that interesting person. That person fascinates me. So how can you do that when you meet a man or when you are dating a man? Well, let's go over 3 important ways. So the main goal here is to use your attitude to get his attention. Not your physical or your intellectual qualities, but your attitude. Let this sink in. Not your physical, but not even your intellectual qualities. Some women, for example, think that men pay the most attention to a woman's looks when falling for a woman, so they use their looks. Well, looks play a significant role, but only for that initial amount of attraction. It's the woman's attitude that makes these men decide to want to really be and stay with her in a romantic relationship. So that's the type of attention you want. Way number 1, being a stoic. Stoicism, for example, says that you can and should enjoy all of the good things in life fully, but you shouldn't get too attached to them. So you are not afraid to lose them, and so you are also ready to give it all up if something changes. For example, him not treating you well in that relationship. And that's important, because we humans are at our best and strongest when we are not afraid to lose something or someone, and when we are not attached to a certain outcome. That's when we get to truly enjoy the moment and be ourselves. So here's what this means, translated to dating or relationships. You enjoy his attention, his presence, and the moments with him fully, but you don't really need them. You're not going to work really hard for it. They are the dessert, not the meal that will prevent you from starving, so to speak. And when he feels that you are not afraid to lose him, you will not only get his attention, but also more importantly, his respect. The second way to get and to keep his attention, and this one is specifically for early on in the relationship or while you are still dating, small wins. And I've already said this elsewhere, but when is the Super Bowl? It's at the end of the season, after the many small wins. It's not the first and definitely not the only game in the season. So a male's mind is mostly ruled by substances like testosterone and dopamine and is made for win after win after win after win. And that's important. That keeps him on his toes. That keeps him interested and attentive, energized, working for it, not falling asleep and taking it all for granted. So let's translate that to your dating life or relationship. Take your time. Let him use his imagination, especially while you are still dating. Don't play hard to get, but be somewhat hard to get. And not because it's a game, but because you simply take your time. Make him earn the important things. And not because it's a game, but because great men want to earn it. They need to earn it. It's how they are wired. The great monkey doesn't go for the bananas that fell off the tree and are thus easy to get. They are not that interesting. Only the lazy monkeys go for them. No, the great monkey goes for the ones that it has to climb for, because the feeling the monkey will get when it finally reaches that banana will be so much better thanks to dopamine. So the monkey wants the banana because it's hungry, but it also wants the feeling of getting the reward of finally getting there, not just the banana. And I'm not saying that all men are like monkeys, but I hope you get the point here. We men have that entire testosterone and dopamine system for a reason. So especially if you like him, please don't deny him this feeling. It's like taking a lollipop away from a 4-year-old. He wants that feeling. Men pay attention to the things they crave. They crave what they have to work hard for. Why? Because it gives them a great feeling when they finally succeed. And I love the romantic scenes in the original old Top Gun movie as an example of this, because they represent this perfectly. When Maverick, for example, arrives late for his date and finally rings the doorbell of the woman he has a date with, she doesn't even open the door. Of course not, he's way too late. He doesn't deserve that. So he has to walk around the entire house to check if she is still home, and when he finally gets in, he wants to take a shower first. She says no, and so on. So small wins he has to work for that then lead to the start of their relationship. She's not playing any games. She's just showing her boundaries. Now, on a side note, what Maverick does there plays a role for her as well, because had he, for example, arrived early with a bouquet of flowers and some self-written poems declaring his love, he may have lost her attention. So he was a challenge too, but that's a different story. Third, put him in his place whenever needed. That's an awesome way to get his attention and his respect. And look, normal men know very well when they deserve to be put in their place. And in a perfect world, no man or woman would ever misbehave or cross a line in a relationship or when they are dating. But we don't live in that world, so when he crosses a boundary, he has to be put in his place. And the confidence that you show when you do that is attractive. It's worth paying attention to, because here too he feels that you are yourself, that he's meeting the real you, that you are not afraid to lose him or to stand up for what's important to you. Plus, treating you better then becomes one of his many wins that I talked about earlier. And if that's not a win-win, and there you go. These were 3 ways that you can use your attitude, so not your looks, not how smart you are, to get his attention, to keep it, and to pique his interest. And I'm staying on the surface here because otherwise my videos would get way too long, but you can find more on brianknox.com or in my books on Amazon. Just type my pen name, Brian Knox, in the search bar. And I want to thank you for watching until the very end of this video. I appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another one.